Hey everyone, Daniel here, and welcome to my new show. So, I decided to start this show to get in touch with a bunch of my friends from back home and let you all in on the awesome stuff that I've been up to over the past month. So, I'm going to be doing this every single month up until I graduate, which is 5 more months, by the way. 5 more months. 5. Did I mention there's 5 more months left until I graduate? That is incredible. Yeah, I'm almost done with college. So, over these next couple months, I'm going to be putting out a video at the end of each month, and I will let you all know about the awesome, amazing, incredible things that I've been doing over that said month. Yes. So, over this past month of January, I started Final Project. And you might be asking, Daniel, what is this final project that we've heard so little about? Well, you came to the right place. Final project is that time in a Full Sail programmer's life where you get put on a team with all of your closest friends, and together you use your skills that you've acquired over the many strenuous months of hard work and labor, and you use those incredibly powerful skills to create the greatest piece of gamingness that you have ever created up till that point. Yeah, that's not entirely true. Well, it is one of the most exciting moments for a Full Sail programmer's life. It's not all glamorous, as I may have led on earlier. The purpose of Final Project is to show the programmers what an actual work environment might be like for us and to give us a chance to get our feet wet in said environment before we actually go out into the workforce. So the thing we did this first month was we had to come up with a game idea and then start writing documentation for it. So like, here's how this character is going to look, or here's how this gameplay mechanic is going to feel, and here's how this person reacts if such and such happens. So the very first week, we had to come up with 2 game ideas to pitch to our producers. I came up with one of the ideas, and my idea was to make a game about pro bending. And for those of you who don't know what pro bending is a fictional sport in one of my favorite TV shows, The Legend of Korra. In that show, the people are born with special magical abilities where they can manipulate elements. And so the sport is very similar to dodgeball, but instead of throwing balls, you throw whatever element you have. So a person will throw a rock or a fireball, or they'll shoot water at you. And the goal is to knock people out of this arena. And the show is extremely popular. And I thought it would be a really awesome way to honor the show by making a game about it. I had come up with this idea for the game actually 3 months before Final Project even started. So I already had a bunch of design ideas that I thought would be pretty cool to implement with it. And I pitched the game to my team, and the team loved it. They thought it was a great idea, and so we pitched it to our producers, and they thought it was a great idea too. So I was like, awesome, this is great. Final project, we're making the game I want to make. I'm with a great team. Everything's going perfectly, just fantastic. And of course, as is usual with life, not everything always goes the way you want it. We very quickly realized that for the game to be fun, we might have to move away from the things that the show had set in place. So we had to make changes to the rules. We had to dumb down some things to very basic concepts, and then we would exaggerate features of them to explain things to the player, which is fine, but at that point, you're kind of moving away from the show, and that's not the only change. So with all these little changes, we realized, well, it's not really the show anymore. So for now we're saying that the game is inspired by the show, but it is not the sport that is in the show, which is really sad. I wanted really badly to make something to honor the show, and I hope I still get the chance to do that. I understand why we're doing it. It's just it's hard to let go of that, especially because the show means so much to me. And my goal was to make something that honors the show. Even though we are going to make a kick-ass game, and you all are going to love it. It is, oh man, I'm so excited for this. we are doing networked multiplayer, so you can play this game with your friends. We talked about doing AI for the game too. I'm not sure we're going to have time for it. So right now, networking is our priority, and yours truly is doing the networking. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have any footage or anything to show you because we haven't actually started on the game yet. This whole month, all we've been doing is documentation. I have some pictures. Yeah, but next month we're going to be starting core, which is where we do some programming. And if I have stuff to show you, I will show you stuff, and your mind will be blown because it's awesome. So I'm going to end this video a little differently. I am going to talk about some of the media that I have consumed over this past month. So not only will you get to see the stuff that I'm working on over these next couple months, you will also get to see the movies and games and TV shows that I have consumed over these upcoming months, and I will tell you about how amazing and wonderful they are. Or I might throw an awful one in there just to mess with you. We'll see. Let's start with movies. This past month, I watched a movie called Donnie Darko, which came out in early 2000s. That is a great movie. That is a very good movie. It is a horror movie, but it's so much more than just a horror movie. It's about time travel and schizophrenia and just who's really crazy. It really makes me think, and oh God, I love that movie. The other movie I saw this month, which did not come out this month, it came out last year, Gravity. Oh my God. That is good. That is like one of the best movies I have ever seen. And I am ashamed that I didn't see it when it originally premiered in theaters, but I got so lucky. Regal decided to do an encore presentation of it, and I went and saw it for the first time this month in IMAX 3D. I am in awe of that movie. If there is one movie you should see before you die, well, there's a lot of movies you should see before you die. Okay, forget what I just said. But it's a great movie. Oh man, it's so good. So now let's talk about games. This past month I played a game, it's an online game called Heroes of Sokoban, and it's this grid puzzle game where each character, you can switch between the characters, and each character has some sort of special ability. It is deceptively clever. Oh man, it's such a smart game, and I think there's like 2 or 3 of them out right now, so you should go check them out. They're all pretty short, so you can play them pretty quickly. The other game I recommend is Castle Doctrine. This is an indie game which came out this month. I've been part of the beta for a little while now, and I'm still terrible at the game. It is a very hard game. In Castle Doctrine, there's 2 parts to the gameplay. In the first part, you are building traps in like a maze in your home. And what you have to do is the maze you have to be able to get to your safe in your house without killing yourself, and your family has to be able to leave the house. So those are the two rules for building your maze. And then the other part of the game is you go to another person's house and try to rob them, and you're trying to navigate their maze. And it's really interesting and brings up a lot of social questions and stuff like that. And it's kind of a scary game in a lot of ways, which is crazy because it has all these like pixel graphics and stuff like that. You know, you wouldn't think of that. So I recommend those 2 very, very good games. For music, I recommend Arcade Fire's newest album, Reflector. It didn't come out this month. I've been listening to it since I think October. It is so good. Just buy it. Yes, they are one of the greatest bands of our time. Amazing. The other album I recommend, this has been out for a long time now, David Crowder Band's album, A Collision. I listened through that album recently. That is one of the best worship albums I have ever heard. It is so good, and I really enjoyed it, and I highly recommend it. Finally, I have anime recommendations. I don't know if any of you knew this about me, but I have become an avid anime watcher since I moved down here. Anime is awesome. Well, not all of it's awesome, but some of it. I watched the some of it. Um, this past month I watched an anime called Bakano, and Bakano is about 1930s American gangsters with this supernatural twist where some of them are immortal and they can't be killed. And how does that work? How does that work if, you're in the mafia and, oh, we're going to pull a hit on someone, but they can't die? That's interesting. That's awesome. Go watch this show. It is so good. Yeah. The other anime recommendation I have for you is to go watch Legend of Korra and its prequel series, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Both of them are excellent shows, and although technically they are not anime, they certainly fit in that genre. So, I hope you enjoy all of these things if you go watch them, or listen to them, or play them, because they're very good. Thank you guys very much for watching my show. I look forward to hearing your comments, and I will see you all next month.